Welcome guys, this is Ola from Stop Me O channel, back with another Life is Strange video. The other day I realized that I already made 40 Life is Strange videos. Like, I'm talking about gaming theory videos, analysis videos, anatomy of series and all that. Not talking about let's plays, I'm talking about strictly Life is Strange discussion videos. 40 of them. So that's a lot of discussions. And one thing I noticed, you guys often said in the comments section that watching my videos feels like hanging out with a friend, like having a beer or a coffee or something like that. I could have a beer right now with you, but I believe it's not even 12 o'clock, so maybe some other time or later on. My goal was to always make videos feel personal. I suppose I could write down what I have to say, my theories, my thoughts, and it would be much easier for me to write it down, sit down and record all that. I'm not doing this because I want you guys to see me, and I want to keep that feeling on my channel. I want you to feel like you're talking to me, like we're out on a beer or something, a coffee if you're a minor, or not even a coffee, I guess, a juice, I don't know. And this video is no exception. This is not a theory video. At this point I'm sort of done with those. I feel like I gave all I had to give when it comes to Captain Spirit and Life is Strange 2 links. By the way, I recorded a video about Life is Strange 2 and Captain Spirit links. There were some sound issues and no one told me except for one person. You guys are so nice, but if there's an issue with sound, just let me know. I will try to fix it. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. It was a YouTube upload misfortune. Anyway, this video is me talking about some issues that I have. I don't want to make it look like I'm complaining. I'm certain that some of you guys will not agree with me, but just at least hear me out. What I want to say today is that I am actually a bit worried about Life is Strange 2. Of course there's a hype going on, of course everyone's excited, or at least they're pretending to be excited. I don't really like pretending that I'm excited about the game just because it's a sequel when I don't actually feel it. I am very hyped about Life is Strange 2, but at the same time I'm really worried because it occurred to me, it just feels impossible to beat Life is Strange, like ever, to make a better game. Of course there are better games overall, but I mean like a better story. I think no other game created a community like Life is Strange did, the way it did. No other game has so many followers and people still discussing it, cosplaying Max and Chloe, writing fanfictions and all that. Pretty much everything, even the videos that I'm making, that many other people are making. Chloe and Max made a real difference. And Rachel. Chloe and Max made a real difference in our lives. I'm not only talking about like LGBT community. Like, I remember playing Life is Strange without even realizing yet there will be a Max-Chloe thing going on for some of the players. And I loved it with all my heart, thanks to the overall ambience, the atmosphere, the music, the graphics. It was beautiful. You know, the atmosphere of a small town, suburbia and all that. There was something that really got to me, and it had my heart. It had me at hello, pretty much, if you watched Jerry Maguire. I'm very worried I won't be able to find that in Life is Strange 2. Fair enough, Captain Spirit was pretty awesome, but it was very hard for me to relate to Chris, or to even acknowledge his father's abuse problem. That's probably because I've been playing Detroit and the abuse problem was portrayed in a much brutal way in Detroit. That's why I didn't feel it was as brutal in Captain Spirit, but it doesn't have to be. I get that it was terrible, I get it, but the developers said that it's easy to relate to Chris because we've all been kids. And I don't actually agree with that. Someone mentioned on my channel under one of my videos, saying that we can relate to Chris's story because we've all been kids. It's sort of like saying you can relate to any story about people because we're all people. It's not the way it works. It's not the way it works at all. I believe there has to be something specific that you can relate to. For example, in Life is Strange I could relate to Max because, well, she's an introvert, I'm an introvert. It was easy to relate to that. Many LGBT people could relate to it because I believe there's not enough of representation in games for that community. There's plenty of LGBT community people that are sort of worried that LGBT won't have its representation in Life is Strange 2. And let's face it, a whole lot of fans played that game because it touched that issue. Like, they did say that they want to sort of discuss other social issues as well, like they portrayed abuse in Captain Spirit. And they'll probably try to discuss some other issues in Life is Strange 2, they said it already. I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but there's been some leaks going around. I'm not sure if they are true, because basically the obvious thing is Life is Strange 2 could be either about Chris, young Chris, or Chris when he gets older, or the two brothers that we saw end of the game. I don't know their names, but these two brothers. Now there's a word going around that the story might actually be about these brothers. I don't believe it's a spoiler, I think it's just a rational assumption at this point. If the story is about these two brothers and like their relationship with Chris, I'm a bit worried because first of all, I think we had so many male protagonists in games, I'm not sure we need more. But if they're cool, I can be on board. Second of all, I'm not certain I could ever relate to that. I don't actually have a brother, and I'm not a man. Having a male protagonist will certainly be something new to Life is Strange story. I'm also not a kid, assuming we would be playing as Chris. I wouldn't want it. I found it hard to relate to Chris. I would prefer the protagonist to be a bit older. Now I realized complaining is the easiest thing that can be done, and I'm not really doing that. I'm not really complaining. I want to give Dontnod the benefit of the doubt. After all, they did create Max and Chloe, two wonderful characters, and I believe we all had our own reason to love Life is Strange, and it probably was very personal. I'm just assuming that each and every one of us found a piece of themselves in either Max or Chloe or even Rachel. And some people didn't really like Before the Storm, can you believe? There were doubts about Before the Storm, and some people still said they did not like it, but I believe most of us appreciated that story. And I also believe it could have a follow-up, the Before the Storm, but that's another topic. Dontnod deserves our trust. Like, the least we can do is sort of believe that it can be done, that they can sort of live up to our expectations. It's just that if I want to be rational and reasonable, it's very hard to follow a story that was that epic. Like, if you have a look at the most epic stories of all times, like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, I believe even trying to follow up these stories, that's very difficult. It's not exactly the story that we're talking about, it's the characters and what they created and our own bond to the characters. If the story is in fact about the brothers or Chris, I'm worried that I won't be able to relate to them. I won't be able to find a piece of myself in either of them. If they want to drop the whole LGBT thing, I think that would also be a mistake, because you can still follow it up in an easy way, really. Have a romance option, two of them. Like Max, she could have picked with Warren or Chloe. Just do the same thing. I believe everyone will be happy. But it seems like what they want to focus on are family issues. It will be different to have a male protagonist. It will be something new to us. We'll have to adjust and get used to it. Now, as I'm saying, Dontnod deserves all the trust in the world. We owe it to them. So obviously I will be there, I will buy the game, I will play it, I will jump on the hype train. I'm just not certain at this moment. Please tell me I'm not the only one that's a bit worried. People are complaining that they won't be Max and Chloe. Now, I get it. Max and Chloe's story is sort of done. I am ready to accept it, as much as I'd love it to be repeated in some way, as much as I'd love them to come back, and as much as I believe that it would be possible to make it happen. You have a story about time travel, you can do anything you want. I accept the fact that Dontnod wants to move on from that. They are the nicest people, and I get it, they are creators. Being a creator myself, I understand what it's like to create a new content when your followers are used to another sort of a content. So, like, I'm creating mostly Life is Strange videos, but I'm also trying to make Let's Plays, and I love doing them as well. But I understand that most of you guys mostly want to see Life is Strange videos. I get it, I understand it totally, what it's like to create something new. I wanna support them 100% on that. But at the same time, I still have my doubts. Like lately I've been playing Mass Effect Andromeda, and Mass Effect, the original trilogy, that's like my favorite game of all time. It was brilliant, and I loved it all. I love the story, and I love my Shepard and Liara, and I'm not going to start talking about that because I will never finish, but I like Mass Effect. And lately I've been playing Mass Effect Andromeda, and even though I've been enjoying it, it doesn't feel the same. It's not nearly the same. I don't think anything can be as good as the original Life is Strange. Or maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I am wrong. I want this to be just as good. Like, I need this in my life. We all need it. I believe we all want Life is Strange 2 to be just as good. But I'm not certain at this point. That's pretty much all that I wanted to say today. Please don't yell at me for saying these words. I hope I'm not the only one. Let me know if you're worried as well. All I can say is fingers crossed for Life is Strange 2. Remember to check out the links in the description for social media, Discord and other stuff like that. I'll leave a link for my Life is Strange analysis and theories playlist, the one that I was talking about, the 40 videos one. So do check them out, these videos. There's plenty of interesting ones, I believe. Now thank you for watching, Stalk Me Gang. Stay safe and take care of yourselves. Bye guys.